Well, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are both hoping Indiana will bring them closer to clinching their party's nominations so they can start to focus on the general election and each other. Won't that be interesting? A.B. Stoddard is associate editor and columnist at The Hill. Charlie Hurt, columnist for The Washington Times. Indiana is the state that Ted Cruz obviously has been pinning his hopes on. A.B. said that, the voters there were going to get it right. He's been appealing to religious conservatives, but it doesn't seem to be going his way.
No, the polls show Donald Trump ahead. Early voting there started about 4 weeks ago, so you can imagine this arrangement he made with Kasich, which was announced only a week ago, probably is not going to have much of an impact. It could have if it was done earlier. Same with the endorsement of the governor, Mike Pence. It was a weak endorsement. Basically, the governor said he'd be happy with anyone. He'd vote for anyone who was running on the Republican side. And for a couple of days, he's campaigned with Ted Cruz. That could have helped him if it was enthusiastic and early, but it doesn't look like he's going to win. And that was a state where he really needed, if he was going to stop Donald Trump mathematically, prevent him from arriving in Cleveland with 1,237 delegates, that he really has to win it tonight. And if he doesn't, he could pick up some delegates in California and keep on going. They always say they're going to keep on going until they don't. But that really makes it look like Donald Trump would arrive in Cleveland at the convention with the requisite delegates.
What about it, Charlie? I mean, Cruz has suggested that, Indiana is make or break for him, but with these latest poll numbers that A.B. was referring to, he seems to have backed off a little bit, suggesting that he could lose Indiana and still keep going. Can he?
Yeah, no, I don't think that he can't. I don't think he has much of a path to winning the nomination if he loses Indiana, or even if he wins Indiana. I still don't see much of a path for him. But I also don't suspect he's going anywhere. I think that this has become a very important fight for him, and he has made it very clear that he intends to take it all the way to the convention. And while on the Democratic side, Bernie Sanders has sort of a movement that is behind him, and he has a reasonable argument for going to the convention. And that reporter hit you just showed a moment ago with those voters saying that they're never going to vote for Hillary. They have been energized by Bernie Sanders. Ted Cruz doesn't really have that behind him. And so the argument for, while I still think he will go forward, he doesn't have that kind of movement behind him. And I think that he risks at some point alienating and turning off a lot of people in the Republican Party, a lot of establishment people, probably a lot of people who support him right now, if he does keep this up too much longer.
Does Donald Trump have momentum right now, A.B.?
Yeah, the more contests he wins, and the more he says the system is rigged, and this is going to be over soon, the more voters in later contests are open to accepting him as the nominee and assuming that this is a done deal. So if at some point it becomes, much harder, which is why, again, if he wins, if he wins Indiana, Ted Cruz could actually probably win more delegates in California, and again, maybe stop Trump from getting to 1,237. But the momentum for Donald Trump was too strong, and the efforts put into Indiana on Ted Cruz's behalf were too weak and too late. And so, there could be a surprise tonight, but it really looks like if Donald Trump takes it tonight, I don't see a mathematical path for Ted Cruz, and the momentum will be so great. I think Donald Trump just gets the requisite delegates, well on time, and arrives at a convention where there's not going to be a fight. Yeah,
Charlie, Donald Trump was probably the best-known candidate going into this race of anybody, save maybe Hillary Clinton. But in the early going, 7 out of 10 Republicans were saying they could never vote for Donald Trump. Now all of a sudden, 9 out of 10 are saying, yeah, I could vote for the guy. What has he done? How did he turn that around?
Well, as we've talked about all along, the guy is people may not like him, but he is a genius at marketing. He's a genius at using the media, manipulating the media, and a lot of people think that a lot of people argue that that's a bad thing. But the truth of the matter is that's politics, and he has transferred his career in entertainment to politics very well, and he's used all of those things that have made him such a famous name in the entertainment business. He's turned it into pure gold in politics. And I get that he drives some people absolutely batty, but he is also very good at sort of moderating himself when he needs to. We have seen speeches where he has, believe it or not, shown humility after winning contests or after losing contests, such as when we saw in Iowa. And I can't help but think that he will be able to do a whole lot more in the general election to turn down some of the negatives that are dogging him in ways that Hillary Clinton simply can't, because Hillary has always been looked at through a political lens, and Donald Trump is still sort of finding that sort of image for him in politics. And that's why I think that Democrats, obviously they say that they really want Donald Trump to be the Republican nominee, but you also hear them now saying, I don't know about that. He's so unpredictable, he's so original, we might end up regretting that he's the nominee.
I know the Rasmussen poll put Trump ahead of Hillary Clinton slightly in a one-on-one national election. We'll see what Indiana decides. That may be a little premature, but we'll see.
Indeed.
Charlie Hurt, A.B. Stoddard, thank you both.